Hello and welcome to the Breathing Room. On this podcast, we talk about M&M, Mind, Nutrition, Movement, 3 pillars for a healthy life. I'm Rita Date, your host. I'm a yoga and meditation coach, writer, and nutritionist. So today, I'm going to answer all the questions that I get about cancer. I've written this book, Fighting Cancer with the Thali. It's my latest book, and it talks not only about how to prevent cancer, but what you can do to mitigate any side effects of treatment and what kind of diets you should have when you're on that treatment. So I'm going to answer the most frequently asked questions that I get. So the first one is, does sugar increase cancer risk? Not directly. It does not directly feed cancer. Sugar does not do that. However, when you are having high amounts of added sugar, and by added sugar, let's define added sugar. There are 2 types of sugar. There's natural sugar, which we get in foods, especially fruits. And then there are the added sugar you will find in all your processed foods, such as cereals, ketchup, cold drinks, cold coffees, cakes, biscuits, all of that has added sugar, which is not healthy. Now, how much sugar should you have per day? The amount is about 24 grams for women and 34 grams or 36 grams for men. And what does that mean? That includes all the natural sugar as well. And what happens when you do eat extra sugar? There are a host of things that can happen. This extra sugar that is in these processed foods causes other problems on different metabolic diseases, diabetes, heart disease, all causing havoc in your body. And anything can lead to cancer. Obesity is linked to cancer. Your diet and lifestyle has been proven to be linked to cancer. So indirectly, sugar does not help. But if you're having sugar, if you are allowed to have sugar, have your sweets once in a while, but be careful of the added sugar in processed foods. Okay, second question. Do processed foods cause cancer? Well, let's define processed foods. Even when you go to a grocery store like Reliance or Big Basket or one of these large stores, even the foods that have been, the fruits and vegetables have some processing done to them. It could even be washing, spraying, cut vegetables, things in the frozen section. It's all technically processed foods. And this is a little different than when you think of processed foods, which are sugary cereals, packaged cakes and biscuits, chips, all of those colas and your sodas are all processed. Now, if you eat that, it does not automatically mean you will get cancer. You have to see your entire overall eating pattern. If you eat that once in a while, maybe 5% of the time, it's not going to make a big difference in your health. However, if you're continuously eating foods like that, even like 3 days a week, 3 meals a week, I should say, that will have could have an effect on your metabolic health, your weight, and when your weight increases for the wrong reasons, all of these other things can come into play. So do stay away from processed foods, whether it's linked to cancer or not. Third question, what is the association between soy and cancer risk? This comes up especially about breast cancer. And this is because soy contains something we call as phytoestrogens. And all that is plant-based estrogen. It has nothing to do with the estrogen that is the hormones that are in the body. And in laboratory studies, a high amount of these plant estrogens was associated with some breast cancer risk. However, if we look at the cultures that eat a lot of soy, which is Japan, Korea, China, they have lower incidences of breast cancer. So I think it is okay to eat soy. It does not directly cause cancer. Choose high quality soy products. Do not choose very processed products. For example, there's something in the market called soya sticks. That is I don't know where that came from. It's some type of soy which is fried. That is an example of something that is ultra processed, not good for you, and something you would need to avoid. Choose a good quality tofu, tempeh, some good soy milk, but stay away from the ultra processed soy foods. Fourth question: does eating a plant-based diet reduce cancer risk? Eating plant-based foods like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds has been shown to reduce cancer risk. And that is partly due to something that they all have is called phytonutrients. And these are the part of the food that provide health benefits and strengthen your immune system. These phytonutrients do that. So there is evidence that shows that. And in the book, we do say half of the thali should be vegetables, either raw or cooked. The other parts can be your legumes, your and a carbohydrate, a whole grain carbohydrate. Now that said, it doesn't mean that meat is bad. You can add good quality fish. Fish is good in omega-3, the fatty fish, lean cuts of chicken, coming from good sources, eggs. You need protein as well. So it doesn't mean that these things are bad, but the plants are the things that will help you against cancer. Now, what kind of plants should you be eating? Again, swap out all that maida, eat whole grains, and make sure you're not eating a lot of sugar-based things and ultra-processed things, because that is also plant-based. I mean, a cereal is basically a plant, right? It's a grain. So just make sure that you are getting the right plant foods and you're eating a balanced diet on the thali. Okay, next question. What's the connection between coffee and cancer? Well, luckily there is no connection. Coffee, especially black coffee with no milk and sugar, has actually has potential health benefits. So there's absolutely no risk. And we have decades of research showing this. So enjoy your coffee. And the last question for today is, how can I reduce my risk of colorectal cancer? And I thought this is a apt question because colorectal cancer is on the rise, and it's on the rise especially with the younger population. We do get, late 30s, early 40s people come in with this cancer, and this cancer is directly linked to your lifestyle. Now, the food you're eating and the amount of movement you're doing is linked to this. General recommendations is to maintain a healthy body weight, exercise, do not drink, do not smoke, and decrease your consumption of red meat. So all of this is important. In India, we do not get a colonoscopy as often as we do in the US, mainly because we don't have those kind of diets. No matter what, chances are you're not eating burgers 4 times a week. We just don't have that in our regular diet. Where in the US, it's very common to have meat almost every day, sandwiches, and part of the regular diet. So that's why their instances have always been high, and they need to do that screening. Luckily, we have the thali, and you can get a nice balanced diet with high fiber and reduce your risk. So keep that in mind at every age and at every stage. That wraps up the questions for today. If you have a question, please do mail us. We'll put all the information in the show notes. Subscribe to our channel and get the information you need to live a healthier life through M&M, Mind, Nutrition, and Movement. So stay tuned, and I will be answering the next set of questions in just a couple of weeks.